Yo, Rap Life Review, we here, man. I only came in today because, man, we ain't seen nothing like this, y'all. For Eddie and Nadeska, I'm Ebro. Low is, OVO Low decided to not come today.
Oh, don't do that.
What an episode for him to miss, though.
He was like, you know what? This got too crazy. I'ma just stay away.
He went to Ohio. Who goes to Ohio for
People
this
who don't want
episode?
people who don't want to be involved in the shenanigans that are about to ensue.
So unfortunate.
I have to say before we start today, that hip hop is phenomenal and it's in great hands.
Remember where we were at this time last year?
Concerned, oh, there's no hip hop number ones and what's going on?
And then one man put the game on his back. And
what
here we are.
did he? Yo, this guy Kendrick Lamar is relentless. So anyway, you know about the GNX album. I'm sure you've seen all of the breakdowns of the gems and the Easter eggs and all the things. So we don't need to relitigate any of those theories. Like, just have fun with the album, whether you're deep on the theories or nah. And we'll come back to that. So put a pin in that. Shout out to G Herbo, strictly for the fans. He's outside with a new project. Kodak dropped the Trill Bill mixtape. Speaking of mixtapes, let's go to the J. Cole side of the couch. You guys, the J. Cole.
What are we?
What
Are
do
we
you guys
the dream?
call it? The
the
Cole
dream,
World,
the dream villains.
The dream
the
villains.
dream villains.
There you
That's
go.
us. Mm-hmm.
You guys are having a great time.
Listen, I'm just gonna take credit for no apparent reason. I had
love it.
literally
I'm here
nothing
for it.
to do with these mixtapes.
But you
all
did
dropping
all
on
at the same
stream.
time.
But I've been out here complaining for years now that we needed all these old Cole tapes, the warm up, the come up,
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights, excellent projects to drop. So he released his audio series, Inevitable.
That's right.
And with it, we finally got the mixtapes on streaming, man. It's super nostalgic, and listening to them just takes me back to a great time. You know, as Cole talks about in the audio series, he's been through a lot. Politics got to him, feelings got hurt, a lot of things happened, but this feels like that moment where, like, man, we could relate to him. He was amazing. He was so ambitious, and like, it was all just very aspirational. And yeah, we were just young and excited. So it's really nice to finally have these tapes streaming. I love it.
In retrospect, when you look back at the tapes and you listen to them and it gives you that nostalgic feeling, you being someone that has been in the game and seen so many ups and downs of so many artists, does it give you a more of an appreciation for what J. Cole was able to, or the level of focus that J. Cole was able to have to get to this point?
The thing that was most interesting to me, and I haven't gotten through the whole series, I have just always, there's a lot that I feel like as a fan I didn't really understand, right? There was a moment it felt like he just vanished, and I was sure that it was things that happened behind the scenes, but we were never privy to it, and I took it personally as a fan, as we do.
Right,
but of course it had nothing to do with us, so it was nice hearing those stories. And what I loved about these tapes is like the beats are so classic. So my only critique as a Cole fan has always been, I just feel like he never found his like production partner. That was the thing. I feel like his songwriting, the lyrics were always strong, and if he had found the right producers, he would have probably had an easier time. Like him talking about in the series, Jay telling Drake to give him a hit. Things like that, I think that really fucks a person up. But I think he just never found like his...
But there's a silver lining to that, because I saw another clip of him talking about how being forced to make hits makes it so easy for him now, right? So while people will, we're obviously circulating that J. Cole or Jay-Z telling, Drake, yo man, give my guy a hit, and Cole kind of feeling fucked up about that, like, and reaching to put out, and even talked about putting out work out in these records that he listens to now. He's like, yo, my heart wasn't in that.
Yeah, and you could tell at the time.
Right, and he even says that.
Yeah.
But he also says that being put in that predicament has improved him as a song maker today. So, a lot of times, and this is something we could all relate to in life, OGs, mentors, being in the executive environment, moving through whatever industry you're in, you get put in predicaments that you don't love and don't want to be in, but later on, you're able to pull from that to survive, right? So in many ways, that contributed to his ability now to still make hit records.
And to be one of the greatest future artists of all time.
That, and to be well-rounded, where you can I could bar it up, I can make hit songs, I can do different things. And I think that's ultimately valuable for J. Cole. So 10-year anniversary for our 2014 Forest Hills Drive on the way out with. Eddie, I think you said, how many added records to the 2014 Forest Hills Drive?
So they're adding 8 songs to it, and
Okay.
I'm excited because Forest Hill Drive is my second favorite J. Cole album. Born Sinner is my personal favorite, but I think a lot of people feel like Forest Hill Drive is his best body of work.
It's my top 3 of his.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
They're dropping the vinyl with it too. And then he's going to do, I think early Cole fans, I can't imagine y'all were ever standing in line for this. When he used to do the Dollar in a Dream tour, you would stand.
I did not, but I remember.
I was one of those fans standing online. So like, he's also going to do a show at MSG on December 16th, which is so dope. A little bit of a come up from doing smaller venues for $1. But
I remember he was at Irving Plaza in the Bowery Ballroom, and
him and Drake popped out and they did that joint from Friday Night Lights. Like, those were such good times. So he's reserving 2014 tickets for $1. They're going to announce where you can like line up and cop those if you want to go see the show on December 16th, which is dope. Such a great way to celebrate that album.
Dream still is a part of it.
But also, way bigger.
10-year anniversary for the Pinkprint album. I want to salute Nicki Minaj. You know, this last run of hers, she's been on tour for over a year. Mm-hmm. Like, she's really, really, and then to have the celebration of this Pinkprint drop, which is going to keep things going for her. And then she's saying she's going to put some new records on the Pinkprint also.
A lot of big anniversaries
4 new tracks
year.
for that. Mm-hmm. So shout out to Nicki Minaj celebrating 10 years of that. Like, those, listen, say what you want about these people, and everybody does, but to have a legitimate, solid career chocked full of hits, to be revered for your skill set and rapping ability, I think it really speaks to how, as much as we see trendy styles in rap and different singing, rapping things and all of these different styles that come along, this is about people with bars, man. Mm-hmm. Like, Nicki's got bars, J. Cole's got bars, we're talking about Drake, he's got bars. Like, these people have had legitimate long careers. Kendrick Lamar, obviously. You're talking about people whose rapping skill set and vocabulary and work ethic is very, very high. Like, it's them making it this far with this level of success is not
the work ethic is key. Yeah. I feel like we've been hearing that a lot when you listen to the old Cole tapes, when you listen to this new Kendrick album, he talks about it. A lot of people wanted it, but a lot of people didn't have the focus and the discipline and the work ethic, you know? So like, that's really, really important. So it's amazing. A lot of other great albums celebrating 10 years. YG, My Crazy Life, which is crazy, by the way. So my favorite Kendrick feature of all time is on that YG album. Do y'all remember that song?
Yeah,
Really
Be? Of course.
He kind of blacks on that. I feel like in all the projects he's dropped over the course of his career, we don't hear him with the kind of energy he has on that song, the way he crashes out on it. And I feel like that's the energy that I hear, especially on like Whacked Out Murals on the new album.
No, it's GNX energy.
Crazy.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up.
Weird, right? Weird.
Because what I do want to say, and I want to leave this with the audience, and y'all can argue amongst yourselves and we'll pick up on it at some point. Kendrick Lamar's 37 years old, right? 36, 37 years old. He's bigger now than he's ever been. Now, you could attribute that to Drake, which that is absolutely a part of it, in my opinion. Him having a inspiration, let's call it. But it's important just in music, right? Because the version of Kendrick Lamar we're getting today, as you pointed out, always existed. Mm-hmm. He just opted to give us more thoughtful things in the music.
And that's why I love that feature so much. And that's the crazy part of the album is like, yeah, how can one man be so thoughtful? All these conversations about being reincarnated and him being an old soul. Yo, he's on a different level of spirituality. And like he said, he's done this with integrity for so long that now when he's blacking out, it's amazing and we love it. And I want more of it and I can't stop.
Well, so I'm glad you said that also, because his height just got higher. You don't know where this is going, guys. Like, we don't know what's about to happen. He was chilling, making thoughtful therapy rap and jazz, working with Terrace Martin and doing all this, trying to really give to the black community and black men and be a good representation of someone who is trying to deal with their past. And so Kendrick knocks it out the park with The Battle, knocks it out the park with Not Like Us, and then delivers a home run full album. I don't remember anybody that came out of a beef and delivered a better album almost than GNX people are talking about his top 3 Kendrick album all time. 100%. Some people are putting it up there with Good Kid, Mad City.
It's up there. After like 20, 25 listens, it's just so good. It like hurts. It's just too good. It's actually a little bit painful.
So then and I just want everybody to think about it in those terms, not necessarily about Kendrick versus Drake and we'll get to the lawsuit stuff, or not lawsuit, but petition, and we'll talk through the particulars of that. But I think for hip hop and for hip hop fans, we are watching someone go to a higher height than they had already been. And then it dawns on you like, yo, he never jumped on a Mustard record before. He was like, I don't even make club music. Like, I'm not even doing that. Oh, y'all don't think I could do that? All right, fine.
How about this one? So, real quick, Eddie, sorry, because I know you got to get your West Coast shit off in a minute, but obviously Super Bowl is coming up, right? Usually when an artist is doing the Super Bowl, people just want to hear the classics. We want to go through the catalog. Never do people want to hear a new song. Point. Kendrick might be the first artist to ever do the Super Bowl who might be able to perform 2 songs that have dropped in the past 12 months. Not like us and Squabble Up could both go nuts at the Super Bowl. Usually people can't do that. People can't do that.
It'd be weird though, him telling people to turn the TV off while they watching Super Bowl. Turn the TV off.
And then just start yelling,
I just turned it on to see you.
But we do want to scream mustard though. Like we all want to do that. Like shout out to all the companies jumping on that. Bro, first of all, let me say this, because you said somebody coming out of beef with a hit album like this. Don't forget the Takeover was on maybe Jay-Z's best album, and he was
on the
going
Blueprint, yeah. But that was the beginning of the beef, so it wasn't after the battle. That was the kickoff.
Just wanted to throw that out there because there is a corollary or whatever. But bro, this is kind of. I live in the West Coast, man. I'm not from LA originally, but I'm from the West Coast. I'm from Seattle, bro. This is what I always wanted. My issue with Mr. Morale. Mr. Morale is a great album. We've had this conversation a million different times. I love creatively what he was doing. Even if we go to other albums, like To Pimp a Butterfly, I enjoy it. I like it. But, bro, I'm just going to be superficial for a second. I just like bangers sometimes, man. Like, why lie? Why do I got to act like I need everything to be introspective and deep? And, that's the argument people have about Kendrick fans. It's like, oh, you guys want to look at everything. Like, it's even the double, triple entendre joke. Like, sometimes just give me that heat. And Kendrick has a way of giving you that heat while also giving you the lyrics instantly, just off rip. Dodger Blue, TV Off, Hey Now, Peekaboo, Squabbled Up, Whacked Out Murals. They all got favorited instantly. I was like, oh, God, thank you. And that's not even talking about, like, Luther, which is, another great song, hooking up with SZA again.
Luther is a perfect song, bro.
Bro, and then you take the totality of it all. Not only is, like you said, him linking up with Mustard, you give us even though Kendrick is from the West Coast, he's from Compton, some would argue he doesn't make West Coast music because music is less regional now. Like, you take somebody like Tyler, the Creator. Tyler, the Creator is also from L.A. Does he make L.A.-sounding music? We've kind of got away from that a little bit. For Kendrick to go backwards and be like, all right, I'm linking up with Mustard. I'm going to give you the most L.A.-sounding stuff I can imaginable. I'm going to give you some crazy L.A. visuals where you got, the little kid pretending he's a menace to society. You got the S.A. homies over there dancing. The Nate Dogg album, like everything. Then you put nothing but up-and-coming LA artists, excluding SZA, on the album, and Roddy Ricch is established. Like, bro, it is perfect, and the city is just on fire. And I've never seen someone, to go back to what Ebro was saying, be able to execute on this level ever since March, fam. We are in December. There hasn't been a month that has gone by where Kendrick hasn't just executed something on 10. My boy's gone Super Saiyan from March until now, and he's still going to perform the Super Bowl in February. He's about to probably have a year-long run like we've never seen. And I know we get stuck in hyperbole a lot, but, bro, we ain't never seen it like this.
We haven't seen this, bro. You can argue with your mama. We haven't seen it. and Jack Antonoff is on this GNX, who's obviously a songwriter with Taylor Swift. So there's been speculation that there's another Kendrick album, like this is a double album because of some of the Easter eggs, like you mentioned, from the Squabble Up video. And so there was rumors before GNX dropped that I saw on the internet, I don't know if it's facts or not, that there was a Taylor Swift collab. They might have been taking the Jack Antonoff
and spinning that.
And his music making ability and whatever, and spinning that. But when you look at the credits for GNX, he engineered I think he engineered Luther and produced on that. But it is a flawless execution that we're watching right now. And it is inspired by the beef. It is inspired by him being tested and him feeling like, oh, y'all playing with me and y'all acting like there's a big three and it's just me, and going all the way back to that moment. I think it's also poignant as he is at his highest height. He's not even talking about the past. Both Cole and Drake are reminding us of the past, trying to create a feeling of nostalgia for their next endeavor. Mm-hmm. Hey, remind us where you came from, how you started, which I like, I don't mind it. But Kendrick is all about now and the future. And at a higher height, I'm gonna say it again, than he's ever been.
Yeah.
That is definitely leaving the pack behind, in my opinion, as we sit here today. Now, yeah, obviously things could take a turn for the worse, but it doesn't look like it is for Drake, because the court of public opinion on these petitions that Drake has put against UMG is not looking good for Drake. Like, people aren't seeming, because look, I have never in my time in media watched artists complain about record labels or illegal downloading or making sure songwriters get paid appropriately. I have never seen the consumer give a fuck.
Michael Jackson, Prince, like some of the biggest
Keep
artists
naming
in
them.
music.
And people are into the stories, but they're like, what do you want me to do? Like, not go get music?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I go get me. I'm not gonna buy, like, people aren't gonna, like, break their back to, like, not support where music or their newest favorite song or artist is coming from. It just hasn't happened yet.
It's just coming from a different artist, it would make a lot more sense, right? Because he's benefited more than anybody from all of this. So of course people are gonna look at it like he's being a little bit of a hypocrite.
Well, they're gonna go, well, if you would have won the battle, would you be doing this?
Right.
Which is the sentiment in social media. So it doesn't bode well for Drake. But what are some specifics that we should pay attention to in this lawsuit?
Oh boy. Well, real quick, some good news for Drake. Billboard named him like the 4th greatest pop star of the 21st century.
There you go.
So there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Man, I hate all this legal jargon speak, but I'm gonna hit you guys anyway. So he's saying that UMG, iHeart, Spotify, etc. launched a campaign to manipulate and saturate the streaming services and airwaves with Not Like Us in order to make a song go viral. They used bots, pay-to-play agreements, etc., etc. He's also accusing UMG of defamation and claiming basically they could have halted the release of the song, which, quote, falsely accuses him of being a sex offender. So he really wanted UMG to step in and block the release of that song. How? How could they? And
no, fam. Like you can't have it.
It's not how this works.
So I understand to a degree where Drake is coming from, sorta. And to be clear, he's not suing Kendrick, or he's not going at Kendrick because it's not a lawsuit yet. He's not going at Kendrick. He's going at UMG. Mm-hmm. But there's that Styles P clip that's been going viral. It's like you can't go into this war in hip hop and decide after you lose you want to change the rules. Like, you're in the dirt with this, fam. I don't know if bots are at play, but what I can tell you for a fact, people love that song. It's a big song. It is real. There's a reason why all these college bands have been playing it, and within 4 or 5 days, they were playing whacked out murals at the Grambling State Southern game. Like, this is genuine and this is real, fam.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I remember that point in the beef where we had the conversation about, at this point, we can't validate any of this. We don't know what's true or not. So at this point, we're going on great songs and execution. And it probably kills him that over the course of the past 10 years, Drake has made so many great songs. That's what he's good at. He's made incredible songs. So I guess that really has stuck with him, that Kendrick made a better hit song than you, right? Not even just the fact of winning the battle. So it's tough. But yeah, this, in the court of public opinion, it doesn't look great. But, you know, you're still the 4th greatest pop star of the 21st century, so hopefully that's some consolation. No, yeah?
So yeah, you know, we'll watch this thing play out. OVO fans, how do you feel? Hip hop fans, we're seeing how a lot of people feel. Like we said, the court of public opinion clearly doesn't seem to favor how Drake's moving. But I think it's also, for those that care about the business, the music industry, I do think it's a historic moment, right? Like, for learning purposes, whether you, depending on, no matter what side you're on, how does this play out for Drake? He's somebody that's had tremendous success. I mean, listen, I've worked in, like I said, in the radio business and in media for 30 years. There's always allegations of payola, right? I've been investigated. People I've worked with have been investigated, and nothing has ever come to fruition around anything when I've been in a lawsuit, right? Because I don't take money. The reason I've never taken money is because it disables your ability to say fuck off when you hate a song. Which is why I've always been able to sit in front of y'all and go, that shit sucks, right? But if you're on payroll for a specific label or whatever, you've removed your ability to say some shit sucks. They're paying your bills. So I don't take that money, right? Which is also why I don't get a lot of interviews and I don't get a lot of promotion and I don't get a lot of things. And
Bro, you get all of those things. What are you talking about? You manage to speak your truth all the time and still do all of those things, which I think is dope.
I've never sat with Kanye. I've never sat with Hov. I've never sat with Beyonce.
Oh, well,
I haven't
those
had
are-
a Kendrick Lamar interview since he's been big. Drake has never come to sit with me before.
Okay, fine. He was trying to
Rihanna, I've never had
the
an
greatest
interview
of
with.
the greatest of the greats.
J. Cole has never come. I've never had an interview with J. Cole. Never sat with none of them people.
And Beyonce.
And I know them people. Like, I see them. I've known them. I've supported them. I've supported their music from incubation stage till now. Never, not once. Why? Because I don't work for iHeart. And by the way, that's okay. I'm good with that, right? But I say that to say that because I'm in media, I get thrown in that same pot with everyone. Oh, you took money. Oh, da-da-da. And I'm always like, yo, bro, if it's as easy as just paying to get your record popping, go, do it. The truth of the matter is it's not that easy. You could probably pay to get your record played. To get popping, that's the people's decision.
Right, which is what happened with Not Like Us.
Yeah,
Not
went
Like
viral.
Us is fucking ringing off.
Yeah.
Because
couldn't buy
it
that.
is two different things. Because there are bot farms, like we know those exist.
Right.
That was weird. The bot farms are real. Like that happens. Like people can do numbers and whatever, and some number ones and number twos or what can seem kind of forced or not genuine. However, when people are making TikToks and clubs are going crazy and things,
Well, no, and
you
even
can't fake
deeper than that, 16 weeks at number one,
You can't
18
fake
weeks
that.
at number one. That when you see a record shoot up and then go away, that's how you say, okay, that was inflated.
Right.
Like, why did that record go up and go away? Why nothing stuck? Did the people really like it or not? Right? And by the way, it could go both ways. People were super interested at first. They went in, checked it out. It shot up the charts and then went away because it was whack and people just wasn't fucking with it.
Right.
When you see a record stay around for an extended period of time,
That's organic.
that's
Can't
the
fake it.
people.
Yeah.
And so all of that to say, let's watch where this goes. I think there is some great learning for people here at a very tumultuous time in the consumption, entertainment, streaming, blase blah business. A lot of changes taking place. But I think at the end of the day, for those of us who are here for the music and love hip hop's in great hands right now.
This has been the most exciting year ever. You know it's real when you have to rearrange your whole day or your whole week to stop and listen to an album, right? That doesn't happen a lot. That's what Kendrick did with this album. It's crazy.
Well, and it's not some little kid bullshit. Like, it's not a TikTok trend that drove this.
Nah.
Hip hop culture drove this, what we're seeing today. The desire for great lyrics, the desire for competition, the desire for like creativity and ingenuity and like thoughtfulness and art drove this, right? I think that's something that we should celebrate because it isn't just a viral trend that's like, driven by some social media platform or some, I don't know, reality TV show or some shit. You know what I'm saying? This is driven by hip hop.
And you know what I love about it too is there's a difference between black culture, rap, and hip hop.
Yeah.
A lot of times it intersects, a lot of times. And what Kendrick has been able to do throughout his career is show a deep appreciation for black culture. A lot of people love rap. A lot of people love hip hop. But even when you watch the video for TV Off, it's him integrating things like Soul Train and that little Black
you mean
Panther.
Squabble Up?
Squabble Up, excuse me.
Yeah.
That for Soul Train, that little Black Panther thing we all had.
Yep. Everybody had one of those in the house.
it's like those little things that are so genuine to the Black experience in America that Kendrick has highlighted throughout his career and makes you fully invested into his visuals, his music, and everything. Because a lot of these people just want to put the chains on and they want to rap, but Kendrick it seems deeply rooted in American Blackness. And watching videos like that, it takes me back and it makes me just have a deeper appreciation for everything he's trying to execute.
Yeah, there's a lot of learnings too on Reincarnated. I'm not even gonna pretend. The artist whose journeys he was taking us through, I wasn't familiar with
Was
them.
that Barry Gordy and
I think
That's
it was this John
Billie
Lee
Holiday, I
Hooker
heard.
John Lee Hooker? Oh, okay.
and
okay.
Dina Washington.
Okay.
I
So
was
we learning.
blues artists. I didn't know like the things that they went through. So then I have to go back and research those artists and try to understand how he puts this all into perspectives. There's not a lot of projects that make me do that. That make me realize there's so many holes in my knowledge of Black music.
And he did it in a Pac flow with a Pac beat and like a whole shit. Like
He makes it
Slayer.
palatable for you. Remember what the Soul Train board said? And what was it in Latin? Everything means something.
Yeah.
Yo, when he
Everything
talks
means
about on
something.
that song, like, what do you say, Punch being his Phil Jackson and him
Yeah.
trying to study how to be the greatest among averages, like, that kind of focus, to have that for like 10, 15 years is like unbelievable. Like, it just makes me feel like none of us are doing enough. That's what that album made me feel like.
I mean, you're probably not.
No,
Maybe
100% I'm not.
Soul Again, too.
100%
Like, it's
I'm
okay to
not.
accept that.
Yeah.
It's okay to accept that. And like I want to say it again, I think because of this moment in history, not because what's going on with Drake and not specific because what's going on with Kendrick, but all that we get to enjoy
Yeah.
in this moment in hip hop, I you know what? I'm thankful.
I'm so grateful.
Happy
not letting
belated
y'all-
Thanksgiving.
I'm not letting you off the hook. Before we get out of here,
Uh-huh.
is this a top 3? Where would you rank GNX in Kendrick's catalog?
For me,
Right now, in this moment, in this week right now, in the beginning of December 2024, your feelings can change. But right now, where would you put GNX?
For me, it's 1 or 2.
Yeah, so Section 80 and Good Kid are my favorites. I don't know if people count Section 80 as an album, but I do.
Count it.
Yeah, it's up there in the top 2. And by the way, a couple weeks ago, we were at the Apple Store in Brooklyn. We did like the show live. We talked about top 5s. You guys can go check that out on Apple Music and podcast. We were talking about current top 5s, and I was saying that after the way the beef and everything play out, Kendrick being battle tested, like he's earned his spot in the top 5. Like he's like really
Solidified,
high.
right?
He's solidified and really.
So this GNX
top
for
5
me,
ever
I had
now.
to process it through the lens of what just happened and delivering after what just happened. So forever, this album will be tied to what just happened.
Yes.
So when you're evaluating Kendrick's catalog, Good Kid, Mad City was also a moment in time. Like everybody's like, yo, remember when it dropped, da da da. You'll forever remember this GNX. And by the way, to Eddie's point, it's got slappers, it's got bangers, it's got heat, it's got shit you gonna work out to, drive to, party to.
And a mantra, I deserve it all. Yeah, you do, Kendrick. Yeah, you deserve it all.
So, you know, we've glazed enough this episode to comment.
Sorry.
Hey-o!
Listen, that's what they're gonna say. That's what they're gonna say. They're gonna say we was glazing.
All right.
Mustard! Rap Life Review.
What's good, Nadeska here. If you made it through that entire episode of the Rap Life Review, that means you're really a fan. Hit that like button so we know it's real. Subscribe if you never want to miss an episode. And of course, if you really have something to say, drop a comment and we'll hit you back on next week's episode.